Next one I know you're excited about because I heard your interview with Juan a couple of weeks last week. Where do you see micro dosing going with psychedelics, and where's that heading in the next decade? Because this is becoming very popular. People are
Yep.
doing a lot of research on this. This is getting approved and explored,
Yep.
I think, more. And so a lot of conferences this year I've noticed in this psychedelic space. Can you talk a little bit about this and how excited you are for that space?
Yeah, it's hard for me because I am so excited about the psychedelics. I think the microdosing is phenomenal. I think that's a little bit further because right now, FDA approval is anticipated for psilocybin and MDMA. They thought they might get it this year, but it's probably going to be mid next year, 2024. And that's going to be for macro dosing for the treatment of PTSD, hopefully for treatment resistant anxiety and depression, for anxiety and fear in patients who were dying. It's just, the results are astounding, like curing people. That is so exciting, which so I am thrilled that we are finally moving this area of holistic medicine and doing what ancient civilizations did and not so ancient civilizations, and used the natural medicines that God grew around us everywhere to treat the conditions that we need help for. So I'm super excited. The microdosing piece I don't think is quite as much on the forefront as the macro dosing, but so many patients who have really cured their depression and anxiety. And we all know that the SSRIs and the treatments that we have for depression and anxiety are really, really poor. What they'll do is very unimpressive in how much relief they give patients, and their side effect profile too. The other piece that I don't think people are aware of, this is stuff that we need to do on our side with the physician community. The pain management doctors have been disciplined for allowing patients who are on medical cannabis to receive it. Basically, there have been several doctors in the state who have been sanctioned, and a couple that I know of who've lost their license because they had patients who were taking opiates, which we know are horrible and deadly, who were on cannabis, and they continued to prescribe like breakthrough doses of their opioid medications, and those physicians lost their license. So at the level of the Texas Medical Board, they don't recognize and don't accept and don't believe that cannabis is a real therapeutic. And so we're caught in this catch-22 for our population of patients ostensibly who need this the most. The people who are managing them with these very high-risk medications are terrified and will often fire them from their practice if they have a urine drug screen that has cannabis in it. And so it's this very difficult barrier for them to overcome. And a lot of them do want to offer it, but they're afraid of losing their license.
Well, it's interesting. I know a doctor up at Baylor Medical Center in Dallas, just Dr. Jackson. He has had incredible results with veterans and doing the microdosing of psychedelics, and
I love it.
he wants for us to do an article about it, but he's also a little hesitant because he doesn't want to draw too much attention to himself, Wendy, about what he's doing. So I touch base with him about every 3 months of the year just to see when he might want to step forward. He wants to get. I guess he's still kind of just keeping his research to himself, but he says he's having great results, and he's not ready to market what he's doing publicly as far as marketing it with us. But I just want to get him to contribute as a writer and and talk about the research but he's had some great experiments and results with the veterans community specifically.
I believe you, and that's exactly, I'm assuming, his concern. Is the medical board, if they find out that pain management doctors are prescribing opioids to patients who have a positive cannabis on their screens, will sanction them, will discipline them, and in the most severe cases may take their licenses away. So it makes no sense that something that is so safe, that we know from all the other states, so unfair, that reduces their need for their opiates and the medications that are killing people by the tens of thousands, that the medical board is still disciplining physicians who allow their patients to use cannabis in their practice. And I know that's the situation is, and why he doesn't want to come forward and advocate, because we're all still a little bit living in the shadow. As a pain doctor, he has to write a lot of opioids, and really like primary care docs and pain docs are the only ones who can write for chronic use of those medications in any doses, because of the, we're being so strict on the regulations with them because so many people are dying. So we are caught in this vicious cycle of a self-defeating, self-fulfilling prophecy with this, as it were, that people are afraid to allow their patients to use it, the ones who are knowledgeable. And then we've got this giant population who don't believe it or don't know about it, who won't offer it. So it's frustrating. And we're all like, you guys are doing a great job talking about it, making it public, bringing it out of the shadows, trying to gain acceptance and awareness. So that's really what I think we want to be focusing on. And I've been talking to our friend Dalton also about trying to highlight a couple of things. And we really want to figure out ways. Mitch Fuller, who's a big representative of the veteran community, obviously David, some of the big veterans groups, like we have got to make the program more people in Texas aware of it. And then one more, like just to beat the syndrome. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, not just aware of it, but I'm curious, what do people have to do? Like, if they're interested in, getting the teacup prescription or whatever, is there like a database of doctors they can go see that will prescribe it? Like, don't you have to see a certain doctor that's in the program?
Yeah.
Correct. You need to see a teacup prescriber. And I think DPS probably has that information on their site. I know that like Good Blend has on their website, and I think Texas OG as well. They've got lists of providers, and some of them that you can do telehealth visits with on their websites. So that's one way for them to find it. But I think the DPS website probably has the list of the doctors who are prescribers in the program. And then once you find a doctor who is a prescriber, what we require, and I think everybody requires, is that we need some documentation of your qualifying condition from a provider who's qualified to make that diagnosis in the records, like officially on the record, so we can prescribe. Because I remember it was kind of funny when it was like 2 or 3 years ago when I started prescribing. I had one young man, who was probably in his 20s, come in, and he was funny. It's cute. He came in, he goes, "Yeah, I've got a lot of problems with pain and anxiety, and I need to get a prescription for some weed, and I wanted you to refill my Adderall, and I need some Percocet because sometimes I need that too." And I was like, "Bro, I need to keep my license. You're going to need to bring me some documentation. I can't just give you like 5 controlled substances and you go on your merry way."
Right.
So
it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that yet. No, but not yet here. But there is a program, and they can contact you in San Antonio. We've had there was a group, Alamo something ran an ad with me one time in 2021. I've had Texas Medical Marijuana Doctors. There's some of the doctors groups, Wendy, have advertised or marketed that they take the call for the patient, and then they go and can fulfill it with Texas Original or Good Blend, whoever.
Absolutely.
That'll fulfill those.
And I work out of a clinic in Laredo as well. So, and I do prescriptions for patients in Laredo, and if there's patients more in the valley or closer to there who need somebody. So they can find us in different places, but I think those are good places to start. The other comment that I wanted to make was that just to this, like, why don't people know about it? And again, I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but there have been studies that looked at and estimate that if everybody who had access to cannabis medicine was able to use it and did use it with relief, that it might impact in a negative way the pharmaceutical revenues up to about a 20 to 30%. And so, so for an entity that it's like, they cannot generate enough profits to satisfy them, they're going to obviously fight against sacrificing revenues. And I know we want what's best for the patients, but they're more concerned about their bottom line. Which is fine.
Do you think they might put their hands in the manufacturing of cannabis related medicines and kind of monopolize it? Is that
if they could, they would. Yes.
Yeah.
We have 4 or 5 FDA approved cannabinoid or cannabis based medicines. I think 4 that are available in the United States, and 1 that's available in Europe and Israel that's not like an analog or something of what we offer here. So that's, again, like, to my doctor friends who are skeptical and things, like, this is already a thing. It exists.